What do you think of when you think of classic performance car? Yeah, Sierras, Escorts, Type Rs, Skylines. Something that's a bit overlooked, which is now a classic. Believe it or not, this was built in the year 2000, actually conceived in 1999. So technically this year, this is going to be turning 24. So it's something that's been slept on, I think. It's a very subtle, but if you know them, they are a hot hatch, is the Audi S3. The first S3 to come from Audi is this particular one. Engine-wise, they had a 1.8 20 valve turbo, yes, 20 valves, 5 valves per cylinder, 4 cylinders. Haldex four-wheel drive system, so it can move around the torque bias front to rear depending where the grip was. And they were a very capable car. They came out with 210 horsepower, and then when they were facelifted went to 225 horsepower. On the outside, visually, they don't look too dissimilar to a normal A3. Yeah, you got wider arches, the signature chrome mirror caps, little spoiler flick on the back. But other than that, not too shouty. If you look at modern day hot hatches, say the Yaris, for example, the GR Yaris, you know that means business, whereas this, I'd probably coin it as the gentleman's hot hatch. If you knew what it was, you knew it was a hottie. On the outside, this had a few little subtle changes as well. Japanese wheels on a German car, I'm here for it. They look awesome. Enkai RPF ones. Behind that, some Brembo brakes. But the real reason we're here is what's under the bonnet. This has had a lot of work, not gonna lie about it. The 1.8 is now a 2 litre. It's been stroked to 2 litre, fully forged. There's a turbo on it that is the size of a bin. It's huge, and it produces 555 horsepower. 555 horsepower in a hatch is gonna be insane. Like on the outside of the S3, on the inside it's subtle differences as well. You've got full Recaro interior with that lovely blue, which is very telling of the early 2000s. I think it looks cool. There's accents on the outside of the car as well which match it, which are done by the previous owner, such as the blue Brembo brakes. That there is a Cooler Works shifter, and I'll be honest, my experience with those, generally they're not set up properly, and this is perfect. Normally when you use these, you have to think about what gear you're in and then shift, and you're like, is it going in? But this, like, it's just set up perfectly. You know it's going to go straight into the gear. There's not going to be a misshift, so it's just ideal. And while we're talking about the gears, we've already spoken briefly about the engine. 555 horsepower on high boost. Mental, but it's got all the subsequent mods to back that up as well. So it's got a monster gear set in the original gear casing, so that's extremely bulletproof stuff. Obviously with the Cooler Works shifter, there's no excess noise. I remember the interiors on these as well, they were just such a game changer. There was no other car company that was doing anything like this on the inside. It's simple, subtle, but it just works, everything's functional. The only real car that this was against, I'd say, was the Mark IV R32 Golf. Obviously they went with an NA platform, the 3.2 litre V6, and this obviously went with the 1.8 litre turbo. Kind of the same as well, how they were designed. They only had subtle differences on the outside to say it was a hot hatch. And back then, I was very, very young. And I remember seeing them and thinking, oh god, the R32 is really cool, and they sounded really nice. And this is, yeah, as we said on the outside, I think it's a gentleman's hot hatch. It's very unassuming, floats under the radar. And I definitely think it's going to be a future classic, 100%. I think they've aged really well. I really love the look of the outside of them. I think they're really, really cool. There's only subtle differences in here. Obviously we've mentioned the shifter. And there's a button on the dash, a blue button. And when you press that, the engine management light flashes. So it flashes once for map 1, which is 422 horsepower. Flashes twice for map 2, which is 515, I think. And then press it again, map 3, or Mach 3, 555 horsepower. That is insane. That's obviously way more than double its original output. Right, that's flashed 3 times, so now we're on warp speed. Lead it in again. just tell that this would be so capable on track. Like, it is set up so well. Yeah, it's just a perfect all-rounder. And subtle, which is nice. So it's, nobody's going to be racing you, but you could race everybody. This is definitely a supercar killer, 100%. The car itself as well, it's like a really low mileage example. It's only on just over 70,000 miles, and when you think it's 24 years old this year, generally you get 10,000 miles per year. That's generally what's an average that's put on a car. So it's obviously way below average. Like, all the plastics, everything is in mint condition. It's obviously been very cherished by its previous owner. And that's all proven again on how smoothly and tight it feels. Like, drives really, really nice. I could stay in this all day. Aircon's nice and fresh, because generally when you go stupid, and this technically is stupid, you sacrifice a lot and you get lots of noise, lots of vibration. But it's just chill. It's going to give it a little tickle again, alright? Whoever's built this has, like, obviously got the best parts and put a lot of thought behind it. And like with the engine as well, like whenever I've driven a big power 1.8 20 valve turbo, it's generally been a conversion, so it's been in a Mark 1 Golf or Mark 2, which is just front wheel drive. And you can never put the power down, but like this, with a Haldex system, it is just planted. It just digs. It goes, there's no drama, it's just typical Audi, it's just point squirt. It's absolutely on the money. I'll stop talking so I can concentrate, and we'll just let the car do the talking. We'll listen to some noises. So you can probably tell there wasn't a real definitive reason to this video. It was just an interesting car, and like, we get a lot of interesting cars, but it's been a long time since we've had a big power Audi. And if you've been with dream cars from day one, like, that used to be what we were known for. Like, I remember Mike, Marcus and Dave all had RS4s at one point, and like, I like fast Audis, I do, but I've never been like, I need one. But this, I need it. It's epic. It's epic. It is so well built. To be able to drive a car like slowly and normally with that much power is definitely a testament to whoever's built it, whoever's mapped it, because they've taken their time with it and it just works in any situation. And like, what do you think? Do you prefer the Mark IV R32? Like, I guess that's this car's real rival. Or do you prefer the S3? Do you agree? Do you think it's a future classic? I definitely do, 100%, and I definitely think that these are slept on at the moment. You don't see them anywhere. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Obviously, we'll be bringing you videos on more interesting stuff. If there's anything you see on the site that you want to have a bit more of an in-depth look at, let us know. We will do that, because we're here to keep everybody happy. Have you enjoyed yourself, Nathan? Yeah. I've enjoyed myself. Got my hoodie off. Summer's coming. Thanks for watching.